Hello and welcome. My name is Esther. I am an artist, spiritualist, and a healer. I do many things, and primarily these videos are just another way to remind you as a collective, if you found this reading, to remind you of your light, your divinity, and whom you really are. Because even the fact that you found this message shows that you're on a path of, well, self-enlightenment, but also a path of service for humanity. Because ultimately, when you lead a life from your heart for the self, you are also leading light for humanity and the consciousness evolving. And you will understand exactly what I mean by that. Because as we change ourselves naturally, we change the resonance around us. It's like your own soul's song frequency is able to resonate out the harmonics of what your auric and your energy field is playing, is vibrating. And thus you bring in also good. So today I just wanted to see what the cards wanted to say for you collective. I never really know. I've kind of adjusted it more so. Sometimes I'll sense into an energy and there'll be a topic coming through. Other times it's just I want to see what the spiritual realm wants to say to you, because these are all fairly timeless, and this is really just to work your light, work your magic, and allow your life to be led that of the truest nature of the human being, which is your capacity to understand of essentially coming out of the matrix, right? Coming out of the old paradigm of conditioning that humanity was stuck in for so long in suffering. So first you got the determined journey. Wow. So collective, you're certainly going on a path of enlightenment, but also soul-led work. That is quite evident. Incredible. You also got navigating love, family, and relationships. Wow. That's beautiful. Very loving, celebratory energy, very higher consciousness, higher frequency, especially with the crystals there. That's like in immense resonance of not only your divinity, but your soul-led path that is truly authentically aligned with you, which is ultimately what matters the most, right? We are meant to discover our soul-led path and step into it. That is how you align with your destiny, is to align with your authenticity, right? And from the heart, from, integral truth. So first and foremost, collective, let's see what's going on here for you in this amazing card, the determined journey. So this really also, before I even get into the tarot, it's like, this is where you never gave up. You kept striving forth. You kept trusting that inner knowing, that essence, and being like, I may not know where I'm going or what I'm doing, but I know there's more. And I know I'm being called in this direction, or I know I'm being shifted in this area for a reason. And that may have even been in your life this year, right? Where you're like, oh my gosh, so much has shifted and changed. Well, yes, because you're being realigned to, well, not only your soul tribe, but your soul's harmonic resonance. So when you elevate, we naturally know that as you change, so does the outer world. So sometimes that can be colored in the most uncomfortable ways, but it's not in a negative. It's not that you are set back. It's actually that you're being aligned into the forward movement of where you belong, clearing out what no longer is for your highest good or in resonance, so as to bring in what is. So it's very positive. So let's see here what the tarot has to say. Thank you, Spirit, for the determined journey, that rainbow bridge, really trusting your true north, regardless of the opinions of others, regardless of whether it's understood by others. You have done the work and you understand that this is where you belong. You have not given up or lost sight of your destiny, your truest nature. And one moment, sorry, collective. I do many things in my life and I have a visitor, so I'll be one moment. Sorry, I do that often because, well, life happens and you have to move with the tides of change, right? But you know and understand that you can show up in any form, in any way, right? Regardless of what's going on in the external, you're now harnessing your own autonomy, trusting in this journey, collective, right? You never gave up in following your true north, your destiny, and understanding that there was more. There is a path that is aligned and meant for you. And Spirit is saying yes. So the first tarot that came out was the Hermit. The Hermit is an incredible major arcana because it means your willingness to go within, to recognize where you've done the inner work, you've done the shadow work, but you've recognized the magic of your wholeness. And reattaining that memory of your inner love, your inner light, is ultimately what's shifting the entire reality around you. Almost as though miracles are opening up, because as you align with the self in your truth of whom you are, which is divine and a beautiful being, the heart resonance, which is the most potent and powerful element of the human being, and incredibly necessary and needed. Leading a life from the heart is the greatest impact that you could ever do for the self and for humanity and Mother Earth, because it's honoring your spiritual self, right? The Hermit is about soul searching and spiritual awakening. It's about gifting yourself enough of that balance and quiet to reattain the memory of not only whom you are, but also to hear the spiritual world communicate with you. So you're certainly now stepping into gifts and retaining the memory of our interconnectedness with other planetary spheres, with Mother Earth herself, with the galaxy, with the stars. This is a very different way of being because this is essentially stepping out of the matrix, literally. You now see beyond the illusion and delusion of how we were suppressed from our divinity and our light and our incredible capacities. For we are a mixture of many, many, many races. And through that genetic coding, we have the miraculous capacity to unlock an immense amount of telepathy, gifts, foresight, natural channeling, and harmonious re-intercorrelation and interconnection with the natural world, with the plants, the animals, the minerals, the elementals, the earth, air, fire, water. Really understanding the soul spirit in human form and how miraculous this journey is, how miraculous this soul development journey is, this school of learning on planet Earth. So this is a very new form that you've kind of downloaded, maybe even past after the new moon in October. I'm feeling that energy. Could have been from that point, really feeling this forward movement that really shifted in you. And it's where you now hold a higher view, right? So even like other videos that came through this month about transcending fear, which may align with you, you have this capacity now to see through the conditioning and the manipulation because it's everywhere. It's subtle. There's so much in media that tries to separate humanity from each other in our differences. But you're understanding that regardless of how someone is colored, regardless of how they're similar or different from you, there is no need to judge it, just allowing others to lead as they may, for that is a part of the free will, but not to be consumed by the lower forces in fear or anger or resentment or separation, right? So it's a new view in the harmonious, elevated essence of your own inner being, and thus your external world. The chaos or the dramas no longer have a pull on your energy, and you're able to remain indifferent from it. Not in saying that you don't care, it's just saying that it doesn't have a pull where it consumes or lowers your own frequency and vibration. Because when you lead a life from the heart, that is ultimately your greatest form of protection, first and foremost. But then secondly, It allows you to move through obstacles and challenges with the understanding of their gifts, rather than succumbing to the illusions of the weakening or the suffering or the disillusioned separation. Because the hermit, that's where you have this inner guidance, right? This is where you've gifted yourself that solitude. That is what has led you onto this determined journey of where you're going as a light worker in the world. So you, collective, if you're hearing this message, you are actually on a path of not only ascension, perfectly on time, but you're also going to be helping and guiding others because of your way of being. So you are now in a divine aligned work, soul-led work, right? And that's beautiful because you've had this answering the call to be a guiding light for humanity or for Mother Earth herself. And that is miraculous. That is immensely appreciated. It's where you've allowed the true resonance of yourself, development, to then open up the clarity of where you're going, the direction of your magic and your gifts and your uniqueness that you want to share and deliver out to humanity, because you are gifted and clearly telepathic, clearly intuitive, clearly a healer. And through whatever form you're placing those healing modalities, you're understanding the need for humanity to receive it. And now you're in a place of service. And that is very high honor. You know, even just connecting with Mother Nature and being present with nature, spiritualizing the natural world is a gift. That in itself is being the healer. It is a way of being that ultimately makes you a divine healer. Because as you are, that is what trickles out. So you're understanding this willingness to develop the self, because ultimately you being you in your highest form, in your heart-centered, compassionate, loving, graceful form with peace, is ultimately what is moving and shifting and transforming that around you and those around you, because it's felt. It's a lot like going into a sound bath. The harmonics after, because our cellular DNA knows those resonances when they are in true harmonic form, or classical music like Mozart. It has effect right down to a cellular level that is beneficial because it is of true harmonics, true resonance that intercorrelates with our harmonious resonance when it's synchronized in balance. So as you come into balance, you harmonize and resonate that out without even having to say or do anything other than be you. So this understanding that you've obtained, collective, is ultimately what's leading you not only into your destined work, but your wish fulfillment, your joy, a balance giving and receiving. With all that you overpour out, you're receiving that back tenfold in way more bigger ways than you could ever imagine or have even thought you could attain, is coming in because of your willingness to pour from the heart, to honor your being and come back to that authenticity. Yeah. So very much deeper truths coming to the forefront with this Hermit card. And patience is a virtue, right? So you've been immensely patient, and that's why you've had this determined journey. Even in days when you're like, I don't know, I feel lost, I feel, why am I even doing this? Why am I even here? When are things going to lighten up? You know, I'm doing all this spiritual work. And Spirit's saying, well, yes, exactly. That's why, because right now you've been strengthened. You've had to go through those, the parts where you really cracked open, right? So that the light could get in. Where you were really tested in your faith. You were really tested in your striving to continue forth even through the most uncertain and darkest of times. Those were the times where you were being prepared. Those were the times where you were being strengthened to stand tall and strong in whom you are. so that tumultuous waters that you're faced with in the future, you will be prepared for you will already know how to move through it, how to trust through it, how to never lose sight of your journey and where you're going and where you're acting in a place of service and light for humanity, because you are a light worker, you are a starseed, you're an earth angel, right? It's amazing, because your soul's song, your soul's resonance of everything you've overcome, not only does that domino effect into your lineage, that domino effects as a resonance to all that around you. And you're highly protected. Remember that. When you lead a life from the heart, you naturally have an auric protection around you, because the resonance from the heart is the most powerful of the human being. And in fact, it's vital, not only for the planetary spheres in our galaxy and all the different dimensions, whether seen or unseen and physical or non-physical. It is also for your soul's development and Earth's evolution, because Mother Earth herself is evolving, and we know this. You're evolving in alignment with her, utilizing AI and technologies for their highest capacity, utilizing your own interpersonal work for its highest capacity, for when it's seated in heart, when it's seated in the higher consciousness of the heart frequency, it not only becomes sustainable for regeneration, but there's healing and transformation for the better that has such a profound domino effect beyond what even we can comprehend, that it is so vital and necessary that you understand through your third eye, your crown chakra, the higher chakras, because the heart being in the center chakra, the 3 lower chakras more to the physical realm, and the 3 higher chakras more into the spiritual realm. You're integrating the duality of both. Therefore, trusting the higher view, trusting your intuition and your higher knowing. Incredible. So you also got 4 of Pentacles. So this is where you've let go, right? You've let go of the ties. You've been able to hold your boundaries and communicate the self, right? This is past energy. But you're now recognizing that tomorrow's done, right? You're now and forward. A really wise person said to me a long, long time ago, I was a teenager at this time, and he said to me, Esther, when you place 90% of your energy in the present moment and 10% in the future, you will know success. And that is very, very wise. I didn't totally understand it there, but it really marked for me, and it's always held in me. And any time that I've struggled or become lost or gone through a challenge or an obstacle, I remember exactly that. Remain in the present moment, keeping 10% in the future, yes, to be practical, to plan, to manifest, to set goals or dreams or aspirations or practicality, but to really also remain in the present moment, the moment that is actually true life. Eckhart Tolle is an incredible teacher of that, and many of us know his work, and I hold immense gratitude for him, a teacher in my life who I've personally worked with, and what a blessing. The elements of this energy collective that you're letting go of is honestly the matrix, right? You're stepping out of the matrix, out of the delusion and illusion of conditioning of where you were boxed, stuck, held, limited. You're understanding that we are limitless beings and we're infinite beings. And this life is a magical journey that is so incredibly special to interconnect with, especially the natural world, with nature, with animals, with other beings, other people. It is a gift in every moment, and it's a miraculous journey, and it is short. And you're understanding that you want to color it and leave something of a marker of beauty behind, a wave of light, to honor humanity's highest good and to leave behind an imprint that will be your lineage, right? That is your not only destined work, but that is your mark, you know? It's your the word is fleeting me, but it'll come at some point. So it's really about where you're coming into financial security, because 10 of Cups came out right after that collective. So this is amazing. This is true celebration, right? This is harmony, but this is feeling really safe, secure, and solid in your life, feeling grounded, feeling at home, feeling completely peaceful and safe and loved and honored. Having your soul tribe, having your people stand around you, this rainbow again, right? You're going to your rainbow. You're trusting in that path and you're determined to attain it because you have been determined to do the inner work as well. And Spirit's saying congratulations because you deserve it and it's here for you. It's come in. Your 10 of Cups is here. And it's just around the corner, right? So close. And in fact, you may even be higher because your footprint is already here. So you're already on the Rainbow Bridge somewhere there. The second oracle that came through for you, collective, was navigating love, family, and relationships. So yeah, soul tribe. So coming into like really a true alignment of where you belong. So this is because of the consciousness evolving. There may have been relationships that had to fall away, yes, but there's new relationships that were actually divinely aligned for you. Those who are on the same trajectory as you, those who will respect and honor you. You will not need to feel like you need to be anything other than yourself. And in fact, you'll be celebrated because of whom you are. So this is immense, divinely guided, harmonious realignments. So especially if you felt like, when am I going to find my people? When am I not going to feel so alone? Especially if you felt really, really alone for a long time. Spirit saying, you're not alone. And you're all just finding each other. We're all just finding our soul tribe. We're all just finding those like minds, the higher resonance into those who are truly with you, right? So, Spirit, advice for the collective and navigating love, family relationships. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Beautiful. So just 2 came out. We're going to go with that. Intuition. So this is where you got Page of Cups. This is about love, comfort, kindness, intuition, good ideas. This is because you were grounded in trusting the self. You were no longer led by the opinions in the external world because you realized, this is my life. I actually need to honor me. I need to come back into a place of self-love, self-worth, and reattaining true sight of what life really is, what life really means. You reconnected with nature, you reconnected with all the elements that really mattered, and you stepped back into life for true life. You know, no longer drifting and motoring through it half consciously, but rather taking back charge of not only your destiny, but your life and your life's work. Amazing, amazing. Because this is about you being sensitive and a beautiful, empathetic soul. And understanding that that was never your weakness. That's actually your superpower. Because that's allowing you to sense in. Yes, you had to train it, but now you understand that sensing into this intuitive, sensitive, empathetic, creative energy is actually what the world needs now more than ever. And by sensing into the heart with that as well, and there's birds outside looking, confirmation. Birds may be showing up in your life, and what a gift, because that's the spiritual world telling you the winds of change. The birds carry that spiritual knowledge, right? So this is where your emotional, intuitive capacities are actually becoming your highest good, because you're understanding that that was your superpower all along. And when you lead it from the heart, you're always protected. So you don't have to worry anymore about this push-pull of, is this my energy? Is this someone else's energy? Do I need to do a clearing? Like, of course, you can still clear and cleanse and everything else, especially if you pick up on external. But the element that you're understanding now is when you lead it from the heart, the external of lower forces actually can't reach you because it's not a match, right? So if it's not in harmonic resonance, then only things that can reach you are also loving and authentic and true in nature and honest. right? So, yeah, collective, whomever you are, you're most likely a very, very, very highly sensitive, highly intuitive, empathetic soul. And that is a miraculous superpower. You are tapped into all the right ways because you have this capacity to truly understand the heart for its true nature. And you are grounded in that. And by leading from the heart, you're finding that that is where all your grounding, your safety, security is. More than you would ever need pours in. Because the second card you got was immense prosperity, right? This is the Ace of Pentacles. Divinely guided through the crown chakra, having more than enough that you need, that you can then overpour into other communities or people or projects that you believe in that are also heart-centered or aligned, or build your own healing center perhaps. Guide classes for non-for-profits or those who cannot afford it so that you can help those who need it and are searching it. This is very divinely aligned because it's regenerating not only Mother Earth's frequency, but humanity at large by you reconnecting to your authentic gifts, your authentic magic, and a major receiving comes in because you've understood your worth and your value, and therefore you're able to receive for your worth and your value. So it's now harmoniously balanced. It's not over giving to the place of depletion, but rather giving in harmony with receiving. Because this is really about new beginnings, opportunity, and abundance in your growth. So all of these new beginnings, right, having really led into trusting this new direction, but also what's brought you to the truest relationships, your community, regardless of how that's colored, has brought you into these new beginnings, new collaborations with like-minded souls, with souls that are truly aligned into doing that of the highest good for humanity, because now you're a leader in your work, you're a leader in your gifts. You are destined soul-led work and becoming that of a giver to the world, because this is about success and material gain, right? It's your manifestations are now grounded. They are now grounded in reality. Yeah, it's like physical health as well. So, because as we know, and Joe Dispenza, not that I'm trying to throw out names there, but he does work in rewiring the brain, but he teaches that in resonance with the heart, because ultimately our inner generation, regenerative, restorative capacities are from the heart. So when you lead from the heart, naturally your body actually heals. You regenerate, you reverse age, you can completely reverse cancers. It's all in alignment with the heart and receiving it in the mind, because we are much more powerful than we resonate. And I always say as well to clients, I say, I know that the future of health is actually light, sound, our own capacities, and energy. And that's why I'm an energy intuitive. That's why I also do a bit of client work with energy work. Sorry, a card fell on the ground here. So this is where you're also understanding exactly that. It's like you now understand that you are such a powerful creator that not only can you regenerate and heal the self, but you can heal in all ways, transform in all ways, and for the better, and bring in what it is you truly desire that is heart-led. Because when you're leading from the heart, that's when everything is sustainable, and it does have a domino effect that works. Because that's the consciousness evolution, which we are in, which you understand, which is why you are who you are, and which is why you received this message, because prosperity is yours. And even just the fact, I've always said too, that the souls who need me find me, and I'm just here as a reminder, of a marker of your re-enlivenment of knowing that you are miraculous, right? This is just a marker of memory. And so your spirit team brought you to this video for a reason, because it was meant for you. And also because I'm not even known. I typically work with people in person, but this is just another way that I really enjoy to just remind those of you who are on that trajectory of a heart-led path of how much gratitude is held for you, how much your joy and your light is celebrated and needed, how miraculous it is and brave it is to step into your authenticity, because it takes courage to be our true selves. We are so conditioned, humanity is so conditioned to place their value outside of themselves, to be like the other, the tribe mentality, or even the separatism, right? And you're understanding that that is not necessary, that is not needed. And as you do the inner work, coming back home to honoring the self, that's when all the miracles happen. That's when all the aha moments happen. That's when all your gifts pour in. And that's when you ultimately hold the true view of whom we are and how powerful we are, how divine we are, how much other planetary spheres and beings and angelic realms and guides, guardians, angels, ancestors, however you resonate spiritually, are here to assist. Because it is so vital, and it is only done through the human heart. But we have to be in human form to develop the human heart, the unconditional love, the grace, the compassion, the peace, the harmony, and the wisdom applied. But it is a way of being that shifts the external, right? You understand that. That's why all of this is in your favor. That's why your greatest wishes and dreams are coming to fruition, because it's aligned with your truth. When you align with you, the external world aligns with that of your highest good, right? So change the self, change the world. Let's see what the animal spirits want to say for you, collective. A little bit of light and love from the animals. Oh, wow. So many came through. Okay. Nature is really here for you, collective. Nature is really here for you. Stag spirit, take the lead. Absolutely. And you know that. That's exactly what you're doing already. Taking the lead of your own life. Absolutely. Force is in your favor. Pig spirit, use your mind wisely. Exactly. This is a time as well when you spiritually evolve that you also will be tested, right? So remain humble. Remain vigilant. Discernment is necessary, especially because there's subtle manipulations, as you know, that try to reduce the forces or trickery for humanity. So making sure to still do the inner work, staying awake, conscious, vibrant, utilizing your mind for its constructive nature for you, for your highest good, and not being tricked into lack or less than behavior, right? Do not self-sabotage. You know what that looks like. So when it comes in, you just see it, and then you reattain your mind, utilizing it for your wisdom. Cow spirit, the miracles are endless. Exactly. They certainly are. That you understand. Miracles are unfolding for you in every moment now. Lizard spirit, dream the world into being. Exactly. Utilizing that heart frequency and that consciousness for the better, and thus not only in your own life, but the lives of all those around you. It's a way of being. Skunk spirit, know your worth. Exactly. Stand tall. You've done a lot of work. And that is no small feat. It takes immense courage. Now it's also, skunks have an amazing boundary. So also remembering your boundaries, right? If a skunk goes at you, it's like, whoa, yes, okay, boundary known, got it, good. You can set boundaries with love. In fact, you already do. And it's not unkind, it's just truthful, right? Truth also streams from the heart. Doesn't mean truth is always easy, but truth is loving. So skunk spirit is very much there for you, collective. Ant spirit, time to collaborate. Exactly. And that's where you're finding your soul tribe, like minds, those who want to work with you, honor you, respect you, and truly they see your light. They see your gifts for as they are. Nothing to explain, just working together in harmony. Mouse spirit, tend to the small things. Exactly. Enjoy those small moments. Be present in your life. Be present with the self, finding your joy and your quiet, your rhythm, your harmony, your flow, but also enjoying the sweetness. It's really the little things that matter through life. You know, those moments when we hug our children or our family, when we celebrate with friends, or when we laugh with a stranger. It doesn't matter, but it's those small moments that really hold the greatest impact. Continue embracing that and really acknowledging those moments in the present. Wolf spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. Exactly. You have a lot of wisdom and you have a lot of knowledge because of your life experience and because of all this work. You being here right now is affirming exactly that. Wolf spirit is saying, share that gift. And you are. I mean, you're on a path of divine work, soul-led work. So naturally you are sharing that wisdom. Wombat spirit, be at home. I love this card. Being at home, this always reminds me, especially with the crown, this is at home with the self. This is at home with humanity. This is at home with this life, with the earth. Wherever you are at home because you are with you. Finding peace, harmony, and home within the self. Incredible. So thank you, collective, and thank you for whom you are. If you found this reading, please feel free to share. It's not necessary naturally, but I just thank you, because if you resonated with this, then you are certainly on the wave of the consciousness evolution. That is quite evident. And I thank you, because leading from your heart is the greatest gift you could ever give. And I am immensely proud of you. I'm sending you so much love, admiration, gratitude. And yeah, I'll see you soon and sending you much love and light. Cheers.